So I'm currently trying to platinum every single LEGO game before we hit 600,000 on YouTube. And there's only a few left, so I decided to go get the worst of these out of the way today. With that being LEGO Bricktales, if you couldn't guess. This game has essentially zero story, and it is honestly one of the most boring and dragged out games I've ever played in my entire life. And it is also the most non-traditional style LEGO game to ever exist, being that there is zero cutscenes or even voice acting for that matter. But there is 22 total trophies, and it does actually have a platinum trophy, which is kind of shocking.
That's what I'm saying.
So the game first opens with you in this empty hub full of broken down machines everywhere. I wonder if we will have to fix all of those in the future. Oh boy, I can't wait. But the real intro to the game begins when you find good old grandpa in this cave or building. I don't know what you want to call it. Basically, you gotta help him fix a bunch of stuff, and the game introduces you into the very basics of building. Because if you don't know, LEGO Bricktales is a LEGO game entirely surrounding the building aspect of Legos. But like, virtually, you know? I guess if you can't build Legos in real life, then you can just do it here. It's probably not the same though. However, there was a pretty hard challenge here where you had to place this one brick below the other one. Almost impossible, to be honest. Anyways, this little ritual went on for a while, and we did some bizarre things with Grandpa. That sounds bad out of context. But then we escaped his dungeon and began the first real level of the game. By the way, there is only 5 of these total. Lord help us. The first world is called the jungle because we are in a jungle. Well done, TT Studios, well done. Anyways, a plane ended up crashing right away after we came into the jungle. Now that's crazy. And instead of helping, we just went and played with Legos. A true man's coping method. I also discovered I am the king of minimalistic design. Just look at this bridge. Unparalleled craftsmanship, if you ask me. Later in this area, I did run up on the first real person aside from the sticky grandpa, though. Her name was Excitable Archaeologist. Not sure why her parents thought that was a good name, but hey, you go queen. She basically chatted us up for a second before getting scared the tree would break and made us then build an entire support structure for her oversized ass. Which, by the way, this build was the first hard one, and I spent quite a few minutes figuring it out before landing upon the solution right here. Sure, it looks a little bit special, but those special ed kids in high school always got the special treatment, and I'm trying to get some of that. Once we made it to the lady, though, she ended up giving us a whip. It's a little aggressive, but alright. That same whip then allowed us to travel into other complex areas of this level right away. And we ended up inside next. While here, we also ran into the first power-up thing in the game, which was glowing red, and under different circumstances, you would probably not want to just touch it. But after we did touch it, we got the ability to now just smash it into the ground. And instead of breaking our butt, we can break certain objects, so that's cool. This is pretty much used for just collectibles of the entire game, by the way. And a while later on, I had to then make this staircase that wrapped around the edge of this structure, and it's safe to say I forgot this was a video game that actually has physics in it. And the poor test robot ended up falling into his own demise. A sad day indeed. But there was a trophy for him dying, so that's kind of funny. Anyways, after I ended up getting the stairs built and all that, I found the Jungle's store, which has a ghost running it, and he basically sells you a bunch of useless cosmetics. So that's just swell, and I did indeed go on a spending spree. Once putting on the cosmetics, by the way, you also do get a trophy, so that's cool. I then came into the area we have been chasing after all day and finally found the plane crash. There was also a man named Fearful Reporter here as well, and he was either trying to end it all or he was just stuck in the tree. It's kind of hard to tell nowadays, not gonna lie. Anyways, I had to make my own personal helicopter to get up and save him, which might have been a tad overexertion of force, to be honest. I think a simple ladder or staircase might have done just fine, but by all means, go off. You then save the guy by smashing the tree's floor, and he falls right on out. Reporter man then yapped our ears off for a hot minute until we had to follow him to the next important place in our life. And we got forced with a gun to our head to build another bridge. God help me. This guy then brought us to a zipline thing and said he needs even more assistance and made us build an entire seat cage thing for him. I know it's the 21st century and all, but bro has zero survival instinct. Maybe we should have just left him to natural selection. One of the final builds I had to do on this level was then right here inside the final room of the jungle area. It had this objective of needing the light beam to hit the jewel. Very vague indeed. Which is why I quite literally struggled forever and was genuinely lost on what the hell needed to happen. So shout out to this guy. You're a legend. We then made our way through the room until standing on a platform with everybody, and it broke, leaving us all having an indoor pool party. Sadly, we got washed away moments later back to reality. And apparently that was the ideal outcome for this timeline, since they were all so happy with the result that they teamed up and all excreted out a happiness crystal, the forbidden kidney stone, which after claiming as my own, I got a trophy. We then got left back with Sticky Grandpa again, and every time you finish a world, he gives you a tiny objective of helping him fix some amusement park ride that he runs. But you can literally give 0 effort, or if you will, the amount of effort I gave in school. The next world was then in the desert, and I'm not gonna lie, this world had one of the most confusing and pointless objectives out of them all. I still don't even know what the point of it was, but it basically has you help out all of these merchants, or at least try to, and after doing that to 2 of them, the boss guy then gives you a very exclusive exit permit. Man, this really does feel like elementary school all over again. I need a damn hallway pass to play this game. Anyways, in this new area we got led into with our hall pass, I found the next power-up ability room. Instead of glowing red, the thing glowed green today. Now personally, anything glowing green is honestly more dangerous than red, but we still touched the balls out of it. And it corrupted us with the ability to see like x-rays or something like that. I then had to do this very annoying moving door puzzle, which would literally increase brain power by tenfold if I played this game as a child. However, I'm a grown man with butt hair, so it's honestly just an annoyance. The next major puzzle section in this world was done by talking to a bunch of these skeleton people and then making various furniture assortments for cats. I don't know who pitched this game to TT Studio executives, but they had to have done other favors to get this checked and ran with. I even had to deliver a cat all the way down to the depths of this pyramid, or wherever the hell we are right now. But finally, after constructing this bridge for the construction workers, of course, I ended up reaching the end of the desert world levels, or to the end of the writer's exertion of creativity, and they creamed out another happiness crystal for me. How nice. A trophy. I was then back at the hub place and saw this new location named Winter World show up. So I obviously hopped on in like an idiot. Long story short, it led to absolutely nowhere and was a waste of time. Wouldn't recommend. But then I went to a real location and it was called the Medieval World, which, shocker, the main problem here wasn't a plane crashing or a natural disaster with cats everywhere. No, it was much worse. Bad water. Yeah, they didn't have filtration back then, so this is fun. Oh my god! And the king here gave us the job to find out why the water is poisoned. Typical king moment. I did have to build some minecart to transport coal though, which was unironically fun actually. And I managed to probably increase my IQ a tad bit in the process. Now, since this is medieval times, the king blamed this big ass dragon as being the culprit for poisoning the water, which I at first thought, yeah, that sounds about right. But if I was a dragon, I'd just burned them all alive, and he said the same thing, making me question the real cause of the water's poison. That's what I'm saying. Oh, and the dragon also gave us this new objective of finding him gold coins to be allowed inside of his building. What a swell game. You get these coins by also just doing random jobs for random people. I hate my life. Anyways, the first gold coin I got was from this wizard actually, who gave me the world's worst build ever, and I had to make an entire bird stand for his dumb bird. This took me 20 minutes to do, by the way. So yeah, there is definitely hard feelings. Also, I'm bored, so I'm just gonna spoil it. The damn wizard poisoned the water. What? Oh my god, I know. Nobody cares. This game sucks. Alright, there's the trophy for the happiness crystal for this level, but I am not happy. So the next world was called City, probably because it's in a makeshift city. While here, you pretty much just zap alien robots with electricity since they are allergic to it. And after we zapped this giant-ass one, we got the happiness crystal and a trophy. I then went to the final world, which was the Caribbean, and I don't want to explain these at all if you couldn't tell. I seriously am about to fall asleep. So the final thing I did was make it so this boat could get out of the underground area with the Kraken on it, because he apparently helps with aerodynamics. And yeah, there's the trophy for the level. So now it's time to get the remaining trophies in the game, which are all pretty much just gotten from getting 100% in every level we just did. But first I went and messed around in the Easter world, which isn't required at all for anything, by the way, so don't waste your time here. I then spent like 6 or so hours cleaning up these worlds, which is extremely boring. But when I started getting trophies again, my first was called They Have No Blind Spot, and it's from stealing all the chameleons in the wild and taking them to a worst living location in my pants. I then got one for collecting all of the hermit crabs from the game, which by the way are legendary pets, and I love those things. I then grabbed all the rabbits, and also the Easter bunny isn't real. But I then destroyed all of the breakable objects in the game. And thank the Lord I was making sure to smash everything in sight like your sister, because if you missed one of these, it would be a massive pain to go back and find. But anyways, I then collected all of the bluebirds in the game, and they are special because why not? I then got 3 trophies in a row for collecting all of the treasure chests in the game, which are spread out like crazy in each world and also need animals to be turned in for one each. I then had to find the last ladybug in the game, which was hidden away underground. Unrealistic. And I opened the last treasure chest right after for 2 more chest trophies. This was then followed by me buying all the items in the ghost shops, and that pushed me to 100% completion of the game total. But my final trophy was then to just use an extra brick in the sandbox mode of building. I could have done this at any point in the game, by the way, but I just didn't because it sucks. However, a platinum is a platinum, I guess. I just might die inside if I ever have to play this game again. Please subscribe, I hate my life.